Start recording. Okay, so we are recording. This is English 10, Thursday, April 9th. Okay, so I was going to, you've been sending me in your topic choices, your nonprofit choices, and then also the, my mind is blanking. Oh, they get to know your website. Okay, those are looking really good. Okay, so those are good, and I'm reading through them, and I'm sending it back to you going, awesome, keep going. So make sure you get those turned in to me, okay? And I'm going to show you what I've got on our website. I can't actually show you the website because it just doesn't work, but let me try to get share screen the correct thing here. Okay. Okay. So do you guys see opening paragraph, introduction to nonprofit?
Yes.
Woohoo, I did it right. All right. So this is what I want you to be working on for today / tomorrow. A couple of you have already done it, so whatever. So I want you, now that you've got all of this great information about your nonprofit, you're going to create your introduction to it, okay? So just pull the information from that page to get to know your nonprofit that you've done. So as you're creating introduction, okay, think about this. I have somebody who has $1 million. I know somebody who was an investor. And I need you to show me what a great company this is. So hook me in some way. So here are 3 ways that you can begin these kinds of introductions. First of all, you can start with a scenario. This is a great way to go show what the problem is that your nonprofit's trying to fix, okay? So like Obansani walks 3 miles every morning just for a drink of water. And the bucket of water he brings back to his hut is barely enough for his 2 sisters and his father. So you can create a little scenario. Oops, I don't know what's going on there. So you can create a scenario of what your problem is or what this company does or who they help. And maybe you found something on their website that you could pull from, or maybe you just make it up. I don't know, but make sure it's accurate, okay? So you can start with an illustration of the problem, or you can start with an interesting fact or question. Do you realize that the seafood you eat may not be as safe as you assume it is? Okay, oh no, people are afraid. What do you mean my seafood's bad? Okay, or you can start with a statistic, which you're probably going to get from that website. As you've read through it, and I've been looking at your pages, and you guys are giving me all this really good data, and you're picking up so much good stuff. Maybe there's some interesting statistics in there that you didn't know about. Oh, how many kids in America get cancer? Oh my gosh, I didn't know that. Or, you know, anything like that. You can begin with an interesting statistic that also helps your readers realize just how important this problem is. Okay, so choose one of these 3 ways to begin. Okay, and I don't care which one, whichever works best for you, whatever you like. And then you're going to teach me about your nonprofit. So pull that information from the Get to Know My Nonprofit page that you filled out. And then in this introductory paragraph, you're going to give me this information, and I don't care what order, I don't care how you do it, just give me all of this as much as you can. So the name of the nonprofit, make sure you get the name right. Sometimes there's capitalizations or hyphens or whatever, and sometimes students get a little confused. So get the nonprofit name correct, that's important. What they do, who they serve, how long they've been in business. A couple of you have had a hard time finding that, but if you can find it, put that in there. What their main goal is, or what you're focusing on for them, okay? And then why they deserve $1 million, okay? So a lot of you at the end wrote why you liked this nonprofit, and that's a great way to go. So pull from that why they deserve $1 million, okay? So I want you to write up this introduction and share it with me by tomorrow before midnight, okay? So that gives you today and tomorrow, plenty of time. And as I said, some of you have already turned it in. So you're just like barreling along. Some of you are still trying to get caught up, so this gives you a little bit of time, okay? And so just put on a Google Doc and share it with me, because you're going to use this introduction that you've just written out, and this is the start of your paper. Woohoo, you've already started writing your paper, okay? Just that easy. You'll probably go back to revise it, you know, but it's nice to know, oh, I've already started my paper. Great. Okay. Any questions about this?
No.
None?
By who they serve, do you mean like who they help?
Yeah. So, I mean, maybe it's kids with cancer they help, or maybe it's the right whales that they help, or so. I mean, the who can also be a what. You know, they're trying to fix nature. They're trying to help with domestic violence. They're who they're helping. Okay. Good question. Other questions? We're good? Okay. So, and here comes the fun part. This is also, I put for tomorrow on the website, but we need to start finding sources, okay? And sources can be kind of a pain in the butt. How many of you actually enjoy finding sources? Because I'm weird and I do. I like it. I think it's cool. Other people are like, oh, all these websites and stuff to do. I hate it. So I'm hoping that you don't hate it. But let me, so this is straight from the website. I had to copy and paste it onto here because you can't share a page of a website on here. Let me explain what we're going to do. And then you're going to have tomorrow and Monday and even Tuesday to find sources. I will have a Zoom meeting on Monday specifically to help you find stuff. So if you are like, I can't figure out how to find sources, or I've got too many, you can just come on and I will talk you through it. Okay. But let me show you right now what we're going to be doing, and maybe a lot of you will go, oh, I can totally handle that. Okay. Trying to make this as painless as possible. So for this persuasive paper, I want you to find 4 additional sources, 4, and you're going to use 2 of them. Okay. The reason I have you choose 4 and then only use 2 is that when you've got your 4, you'll often start, well, if you start with just 2, okay, and this happens to me all the time. Oh, these look great. Get them home. I start reading. I'm going to go, actually, there's really not much in here. Ugh. Now I have to go back and search some more. But if you find 4 and then you can go, oh yeah, those 2 stink. I'm just going to go with these 2. Or maybe you find something great in all of them and then you can be more selective. It's better to have too many and then, you know, get rid of a couple rather than start researching all over again. Such a pain. Okay, so find 4. And this is what I want you to find. Something that talks about your nonprofit, or the problems that they're trying to solve, or the work that they're doing. Okay, so very broad, but just focus on your you know, lots of options you got there. So focus on your website, what they're doing, and the problems in general. Okay, so for example, I remember Phoebe was telling me that she's doing a nonprofit that is just in Maine, and it's to help domestic violence. Okay, now naturally they're going to be a little more protective because they don't want to give out a lot of information, because if you've got somebody trying to get away from somebody who's an abuser, you don't start advertising where you are, because they're trying to, you know, have some, you know, get that person out of that situation. But there is a lot of information about domestic violence. So you could look up statistics or data about domestic violence in general and then talk about your website. So it doesn't, the articles do not have to be specifically about your nonprofit and your website. But if you can find that, great. Okay. So the best place that we're going to search for all this stuff is in newspapers. Okay. But I do not want you to Google for sources, because I know everybody Googles, but Google is political. It's actually, there are dynamics there that are controlling just exactly what kind of sources you're seeing. I don't want you to be influenced by that at all. You're going to do some practice with Digital Maine Library. Okay, and I'm going to show you some screenshots here of what it looks like, where it is. Okay, they have changed their way to access it. So the idea is that just about anybody can get in, even if you're not in the area. But if you are logged in with your Radar for Life account on Google, and then you go to Digital Maine Library, it should let you in. It may ask where you are, say that you're in Maine, even if you're not, just say you're in Maine, and it should let you in. So please try to get on that today. If it's not letting you in, let me know as soon as possible. I was talking to Mr. Cunningham about this a couple days ago, and he said that he's got students doing papers and they're able to access it like 98% of the time. So he's had some success with it. I'm assuming that we will too. So when you get to Digital Maine Library, it looks something like this. This is what the website looks like. Okay, so say Digital Maine Library, getting started, A through Z index. Okay, this is the page. Okay, and then what we're going to be focusing on first is right down here where it says sift and sort by subject, resource type, and audience. So you get this page, you go, woohoo, I'm in the right spot. Okay, on this page right here, this little sift and sort part, you're going to set this part to newspapers. Leave the subject blank. You don't need to worry about the subject. Go to newspapers, and then here make it teen and high school. Okay, so that is going to give you, it's going to narrow down, because it's a database of like tons of stuff. We want it to like narrow it down. Let's just make it easy on us. So then when you set this, okay, it's going to give you the two best places to find. And those are called Global News Stream, which is ProQuest, and Newsstand, which is Gale. So you'll see this right here, Global News Stream ProQuest, there's like a little keyboard. And then Newsstand Gale has got these newspapers. These are the two sites that I want you to use. Okay. Depending on your topic is going to depend on which of these databases you use. Global News Stream is obviously global. So if your nonprofit is working with around the world, or it's focused on Africa, or it's focused in Asia, go to the Global News Stream, because that's going to pull newspapers from all around the world. Okay? If it's primarily in America, then you can just go to Newsstand Gale, and this focuses on America. See, it says, you can't read it here, it's really small. It accesses more than 2,300 major U.S. newspapers, okay? Global News Stream accesses 2,800 newspapers from around the world. So, obviously, you got a lot going on there, okay? So, choose which one is going to be better for you. So, when you click on one of those, it's going to give you this search page, okay? And this is what it looks like. So I did it on the Gale News one because I figure most of you will be going with that one. But if you go with the global one, it's really similar to this. Okay. So when you get the page, it's going to look something like this. It's going to say Gale 1 file. And then you're going to start putting in your keyword search in here. Think about hashtags. Okay, like when you're doing a hashtags on Twitter or something else, you're trying to find specific keywords. That's what you're doing here. Okay, so I put in here whale fishing. So I was pretending, what if I'm doing a paper on the problems with lobster fishing in Maine, and they're saying that it's hurting the whales? Is that really what's going on, or is it the Canadians that are messing this up? Okay, when I put in just whale and fishing, I got like thousands of articles. Ugh, that's too many. You don't want thousands of articles. So what I did is I added the word Maine to it. Whale fishing in Maine, and boom, I got only 8 articles. Really narrowed it down. You, however, are probably going to be, you'll be lucky if you narrow down to a few hundred, okay? And that's fine. You do not have to read all of them, okay? You choose which ones you want to look at. So when you get to the page that you like, right here it says sort by the newest to get the most recent information, okay? And then over here, it's really important, full text documents. Make sure that it's set to full text documents. Otherwise, you're just going to get little snippets of news and it's not going to give you what you need, okay? So sort by newest and then your full text documents, okay? So when you do that, you've got all of these articles you get to start reading, okay? So just start looking at them. Like if you look at this one, the fight over right whales and lobstering explained. Oh, this is even from Bangor Daily News, very local. And so you can get a little snippet of what the article's about. And if you go, yeah, I like that, then you click on it and it will give you the full article. If you don't like that, Scroll down. What's the next one? Here's the central question at the heart of the right whale debate. Okay, well, maybe that'll work. So you click on whichever one you like. Okay, so I clicked on the first one just for experience here. Okay, so when I did so, here's the article on the page. Great. Now what do I do with it? So read through it, go, yeah, I like it. Notice here there are a few things you can do. You can share it to a Google Drive. Ooh, awesome. Do that. Share it. You can send it to a cloud. You can email it. Oh, I can email it to myself. Brilliant idea. You can download it. Great, great idea. Notice up here you can also download it too. Or you can print it. If you have access to a printer and you want to print because you're that kind of tactile paper person, go ahead. Realize that some of these could be pretty long. So before you start printing a bunch of stuff, ask your dad if there's enough ink in the printer. You know, sometimes parents get a little irked by that. If you spend 50 pages printing it and you just want one piece of data. So don't just go, okay, that looks interesting. You need to do something with this source. So download it, email it to yourself. In fact, I do 2 or 3 things just because I'm afraid of losing something. I would download and email it to myself. And then I'll print it just for the heck of it. Okay. You decide a way to keep track of it. If you decide to put it down in a Google Drive, make sure you label a file for that. Persuasive research paper or something, English 10, so you know what it is. Otherwise, you're going to have these random articles in your Google Drive and you're not going to be able to find them. Okay. So also notice here, more like this. Oh, there's more articles that are similar to it that might be helpful. Related subjects, you can scroll down there and it might give you some other keywords to look for and you go, oh, what's interesting, I can find that. So 2 things you need to do when you're at this page. First, you got to download it. So you got it someplace. The second thing, which is very important that a lot of students forget about, is this right here, the cite button. Okay, so any source that you think you might use, you need to cite it too. This is what's going to go on the back of your paper. It's called the works cited page. Sometimes people think it's a bibliography or sources that I used. No, it's called works cited. Okay, you're going to need to put all of the details in there. You do not have to write it all up because these lovely websites write it all up for you. It's so easy. Back in my day, we had to write it all out, guys. Here, you're just going to copy and paste it. So no whining from you because this is way, way easy. Okay. So you're going to go onto this little site page, go bink, hit it. This is what's going to pop up right here. Holy smackanollas. It is exactly all that you need. Now, make sure that it's MLA 8th edition. Okay. Make sure that this is highlighted. We do not want APA. We do not want Chicago. We want MLA 8th edition. Okay. And it's already formatted for you. There's the title and there's the newspaper and the date, and it even has the date you accessed it. Okay, so this one says April 6th because I created this a couple of days ago. So easy. Copy and paste this. Okay, I wouldn't necessarily export to because sometimes that's a mess. It doesn't always work. So what you're going to do is go to your Google Docs and make a doc called Works Cited. Okay, Works Cited. Go here, copy, and then go to your Works Cited page and paste it on there. Bink, that's done. So you're going to do this for every single source that you do. You're going to do it 4 times. When you actually decide which source you're going to use, you'll only turn into me those Works Cited ones. Don't give me all of them. I don't need all of them. Okay. So freaking easy. Oh my gosh. Okay. So what I want you to do then is you're going to, for each of the 4 sources you find, you're going to download it, cite button, copy and paste, and put it on your works cited page. Okay. When you've got these sources, then you need to read them. Okay. It's important to read them and see what's in there. Make some notes as to what you might want to use in your paper. Okay. And if we were in class, I'd give you all these strategies for how to take notes and stuff, but this is obviously a different situation, so you figure out what you want to do. Maybe you're just a good old-fashioned copy and paste and put on another document because you like this quote or this information, okay? But find a way to make note of what you think you would actually use, what's going to pertain to your nonprofit and what they're doing, okay? So if all goes well, you should have at least 2 of your sources are going to give you something that's going to be useful, okay? So when you get to those 2 sources, I want you to email me those 2 articles, okay? So send me the downloaded copies in an email so I can check their sources. Oops, what's that? So I can check them, okay, and make sure that they're going to work. I want you to email me those by Tuesday before midnight. So you've got a few days to work on this, okay? I will have Zoom meetings on Monday and Tuesday. If you're just like lost, you don't know what to do, let's talk about it. Let's get you figured out, okay? So to recap, let me give you, I've dumped so much information on you, but here it is. So you're going to find 4 sources. You're going to download those sources to your computer. You're going to hit the Cite button and make sure it's an MLA 8th edition. And you're going to copy that citation that it shows you, okay? You're going to make a Google document called Works Cited, and you're going to paste those citations on there, and you're going to do it for every source, okay? And then sometime between now and Tuesday, you're going to read your sources, and you're going to decide which 2 are best, and then you're going to email me those sources, okay? You don't necessarily have to tell me what information you're going to use from them just yet. That's coming. We're going to do that. It's going to be your assignment on Tuesday and Wednesday. If you feel like you already know what you're going to want to use, go ahead and tell me. You know, like highlight it or copy and paste it or something so I can see. Right now, I just want to make sure that you've got some decent sources that are going to work. Okay? So you're going to send me those by Tuesday night. Okay? Fun. All right. What questions do you have? Really?
That's it. We'll have Zoom meetings on Monday and Tuesday at 1:30.
At 12:30. Sorry.
I
Thank
was
you.
like, I have a class, I can't come.
For red, Mrs. Mercer. Oh my gosh, I will fix that. I'm making me a note right now to fix that on the website. Yep. I've got 3 classes that I'm doing this for, so the times start getting a little mixed up in my head. Okay, good catch. Thank you. All right. What other questions or things to point out that I've done wrong? Anything else?
Are we allowed to use more than 2 of our sources?
Absolutely.
Okay.
You can use 3 sources, 4 sources, whatever you want. I want a minimum of 2, okay? And this paper, it is only going to be 2 to 3 pages. If we were still in class face-to-face, it would be 3 to 5. But I've just brought it down to 2 to 3. We're just trying to have some experience here searching for sources and writing them up, okay? But if you want to use more, absolutely, please do so. That'd be fine. But don't feel pressure to. Honors class, don't feel. Okay, good. Other questions? Anything else? Well, great. Okay. So that is what we are doing then. If we got 5 minutes left, but I don't think I have anything else to say to you. So do not hesitate to email me. Ask me if you find a source and you're like, oh, I don't know, is this good or not? Send it to me. I'll take a look at it and I'll send it back and let you know. Okay. So that is what you're doing pretty much over the weekend. You're writing that introduction, and then you're finding those sources and reading them, and then getting those to me by Tuesday. Okay. Are we good?
Oh, good.
Yay. Okay, great. Let me shut off recording here.